Yeah. Come on, boys. You ready? Come on, boys. You ready? Huh? I pull up on the block. You ain't from these ends. Who's man praying? Knife crime. Boys, we're back with another rendition of the Wine Boys podcast.
You need to have that grime energy, and if you don't, you are not with us tonight.
You are not with us tonight.
We're about 2 days away from going into a food-induced coma, so you need to stick with us.
We're talking Nike tracksuits.
We're talking
ski masks.
comfortable pants to do crimes in.
Yes.
High-top sneakers.
Yes. So low-top Nikes.
Low-top Nikes. Designer
sweatsuits. Yes.
Yeah. I would say fluorescent ski masks.
Of course.
I mean, just everything to do petty crimes.
Ski masks,
around
North Face jackets.
Yeah, just anything to do petty crimes around London. I mean, it's great.
Yes.
It's the kind of energy we're having.
Hiking gear for urban crime.
Yeah. Basically, like, we want to post up outside of a brick building with a lot of our boys.
Yeah.
Like, and when I mean a lot, I mean like 36 of our closest friends. And we're all just sitting there posing, looking at each other, and everyone's just like, is anybody gonna make a move? And it's like, no, they're all boys.
Yeah.
You know, we just call it a gesture off. Like,
we're your newest sportswear.
Yeah, we essentially look like a B team of the NFL.
Yes.
Like, they kind of look at us and they're like, you know what? You couldn't play on Sundays, but if Euro NFL was still a thing, they would be on that team.
Oh, of course.
For sure. Remember what was it, NFL Europe?
Yes.
That was a thing back in the day.
It was
essentially the
XFL.
It was the XFL before the XFL.
Yes.
But it's what the scrubs went. It's the minor leagues of football.
Yeah, it's all right.
That's all right.
We're good.
Hey, you got a European vacation out of it, right?
Exactly.
So, boys, welcome in. Wine Boys podcast renditioning right before Thanksgiving. Boyzgiving.
Boyzgiving.
We'll give you, the boys, some t-shirts. Teespring.com/stores/the Wine Boys. It's getting a little chilly. Snow in the forecast for you Northeast boys. Get yourself a sweatshirt.
Long sleeve t-shirts in the store now.
Long sleeve t-shirts are in the store now, which means that you can have a shirt with long sleeves.
Yeah.
And then
it's very similar to the short sleeve t-shirt, just the sleeve part's a little different. It's longer.
Yeah. Speed's running out, so I'm going to say that I'm at the Zach Edward on Instagram and Twitter, and then we are at the Wine Boys Pod. Wine Boys Pod, Instagram, Twitter. Find us, be there.
Boys, you can find me at Lord Gerald on the Instagrams and the Twitters. I love you. Night before Thanksgiving. Just remember, boys, be safe. Get really drunk at home alone. Listen to Nights in White Satin by Moody Blues while drunk alone. Try not to cry. I dare you. Hi, I'm Gerald.
And I'm Zach.
And we are the Wine Boys. Hey, boys.
Third down, and here's Ingram out the run. Oh, sorry. That's my other job. Boys, welcome in Wine Boys Podcast. I was a sports broadcaster in my previous life. I actually used to broadcast hockey and basketball, which is two very different yet similar sports.
Yeah?
Yeah, but, like, it's so different because they both have end-to-end action, but hockey has these, like, odd breaks because the rules are just, they're weird. Hockey rules are just really weird. Like, every player has to be behind the puck before it can cross into the offensive zone. It's kind of like soccer. Like, you can't kick a ball ahead to somebody that's behind defenders because it's seen as a competitive advantage. But like basketball, you can just bring up the ball with all the guys.
Yeah.
And then it's just fine.
I mean, even once the ball goes into play, everybody's all over the fucking court.
Yeah.
And if anything, you have to advance the ball past a certain point or else it's a backcourt violation.
I used to hate the guys that I was always playing.
And everybody has to be up there.
When I used to play organized basketball, it was the guy that was always cherry picking down on the other side of the court he was always the biggest shit talker because he was a cheater. He would run out ahead of the defense, and he'd just be like, He'd be like, outlet, outlet. And I'd be like, dude, you're already in the fucking backcourt. You don't have to scream outlet. Like,
Yeah.
And then, of course, he's going to get the layup. Then he comes back just talking ridiculous shit. And he got a DWI a couple years ago. So I feel...
Good for him.
So go fuck him. He can go fuck himself.
Good for him.
Yep.
Good for him.
He deserved that DWI for all the shit he talked in high school.
Yeah. Good for him.
You ever see that? You ever looked at your timeline and you just see a guy that you, like, used to be big dick in high school?
Yeah.
Like, Letterman jacket.
Yeah.
And then he gets a DWI and you go, should have been such a prick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
You do pills now.
Yeah. Well.
So, boys.
I take pills to relax. You take pills to cope. There's a difference.
You got her pregnant, not on purpose.
Not on purpose, but...
Good for you. Boys, tonight, speaking of DWIs, we have a wine to drink.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Whoa.
I am not under the influence. I'm over the influence.
I live above the influence. Wine Boys Podcast.
What a ballsy move. If a police officer comes up to you and he's just like, you're being arrested for driving under the influence, is like, officer, I'm over the influence.
Put on your sunglasses, deal with it.
Put on your sunglasses, deal with it, still going to jail.
Yep. Because it's 1 a.m.
Because
Why are you wearing sunglasses?
Imagine, you're definitely the guy that gets picked on in the jailhouse. If you're
Yeah.
wearing sunglasses, they'll be like, what are you in for? And you just be like,
Dealing with it.
being over the influence. Yo, the man can't keep me down. I'm over the influence. And then you get the shit. Then you get the shit kicked out of you from a guy with a heroin needle in his leg.
Yeah. I wear my sunglasses at night.
Yeah, it's more of a jailhouse brawl version of
So
sunglasses.
I can't. Well, you're getting the shit beat out of you.
Yeah.
And then like the camera's zooming out as you're getting the shit beat out of you, and that song is playing.
You just hear,
I wear my sunglasses at night, so I can't.
I'm visualizing that shot because it has that visceral Quentin Tarantino type of angle. So I'm just imagining like final scenes of Reservoir Dogs.
Yep.
And we're hard panning.
Mr. Pink.
We're hard panning. And it's just... And you were getting you're getting murdered. That's
You're getting
basically
the shit beat out of you.
No, murder is happening as the screen is pulling back.
Fuck.
No, but you can't hear it because it's just the smooth sounds of sunglasses at night. Movie script idea. Writing this one down.
Somehow it involves that song playing, and you're getting the shit beat out of you in a holding cell.
It's a good concept.
I think it's a great concept
For a short
film.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah.
We can just call it driving over the influence. Mm-hmm. So we just be what?
Or just over the influence.
Over the influence. Nice.
Yep. So just movie starts, you got the title, just flash over the influence.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Sure. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Over the influence. All right.
Over the influence. Okay.
All right. Well, speaking of under the influence, let's talk about this wine.
Let's talk about this wine. So tonight we have a 2016 Syrah.
Or Shiraz,
whatever you want to call it. It's from Mendoza, Argentina. And this is called Ocaso. And the bottle reads, in ancient mythology, the goddess Ocaso, protector of the fruits of nature, would sing to the sun as it sets behind the mountains in an offering of thanks for help transforming her breast milk into the most exquisite of all. It was actually her nectar, but... You know.
I was gonna. Okay. Honestly, you read that with such directness that I thought that's a plausible thing to write on the back of a bottle of wine is her breast milk.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see. In the back of the bottle reads, in Spanish, ocaso means horse penis. No, I'm joking. Ocaso means sunset. This magical union...
I would have believed horse penis. Honestly, do me a favor. Next time we do one of these bottle reads, go with it. I won't interrupt you.
Okay.
And then I just want to know if it's real. We'll do like a game.
Okay.
It'll be like real or fake.
Okay. We'll do that. All right. In Spanish, ocaso means sunset. This magical union between the sun and earth gives birth each year to a unique vintage of fruits. Thanks to this union, our grapes reach their ideal maturity and attain an intense color. Achieving this exquisite orgasm, the goddess Ocaso celebrates this union, elevating a song to the sun in supplication to repeat its cycle each spring and bring her new life to our vineyards. in the country of Tupungato, 1,100 meters above sea level. Composition, 100% Syrah.
Okay. That's it.
All right.
It was good.
Boys.
Feels like we're reading a Steinbeck novel. Like every time you go through one of those.
There's always one word, like it'll be the name of something, and I'm like, what's this?
Judging by the backstory, I don't think this is going to be very good.
Probably not.
It's always the wordy ones. It's the ones that shut the fuck up and let you drink them. Always good.
They're just like, it's this grape. Drink it.
I honestly, when we create the Wine Boys podcast wine, which is going to happen, I literally just wanted to say, "This is wine, bitch," and like that's
this is wine,
comma, bitch. That's it. It's like the old Social Network thing. I'm CEO, bitch.
Mm-hmm. Oh, God damn it! I didn't take a picture of the bottle.
We'll do it now.
I'll do it now. Let me pause. Let me pause. I'll take a picture of the bottle. Hey, sluts, we're back.
Hey.
All right, let's bust this whore open now that we've been properly taking a moment for the gram.
Please don't call her that. She is a nice lady.
Oh, I'm sorry.
She's giving us the fruits of her labor.
Yes.
Which is legitimately fruit.
My corky boy is slipping.
Oh, no.
Trying to bust it. I'm not going to break it.
You had a wet cork?
Break it.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to. This isn't another brown wine incident.
No, we don't. No brown wines.
Not today. Not today, Satan.
Not today.
Not today, Satan.
I said, I do declare.
All right, here we go.
Yeah. Ooh.
Got him.
So you can tell by the suction.
Yep.
That I don't think this is going to be brown.
Okay. Little turpentine-ish, but you know what? Yeah. Let's go.
They use a, this is not actual cork, this is plastic.
Yep.
Syrahs are very light, so I'm expecting this to be kind of florally.
Of course. Okay, let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Let's go, baby.
You ready?
Yeah. You ready? Hold on.
Ready?
Hold on. Wait. No. Wait. Okay.
All right. We got one. We got two. Okay.
All right. Hey, 2 glasses of wine, 2 boys.
Cheers. Clinkers. Okay.
Clinkety clack.
All right, boys.
Ooh,
smells.
This is bright.
Fruity, bright. I'm getting hints of cranberry, plum, little chocolate.
I was say I'm getting some type of like oaky aroma. Actually, this is more like vanilla.
Okay.
You get like a vanilla bean.
Okay.
Get a little
I think I'm ready to put my penis in it.
You know what? I'm gonna
drink it.
I'm gonna try it first, and then if I deem it to be
acceptable,
if I deemed it to be dick worthy, I will.
Okay. You'll give it a good hot Christian dicking.
Yes, I'll give it the old Bible verse. All right.
Bing. Okay. Okay.
A little stringent.
Yep. This needs aerating. Yep.
It does hit you right in the back of the jaw.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
back of the mouth pussy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hit you right in those.
All right, slam that back. We got to aerate this.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah. Here's to over the influence.
Yep. L'chaim. Okay.
I didn't like it.
Slancha. Okay. Silencio.
Ugawa.
Ngawa.
Oh, God.
All right, let's...
Did we just drive through a sandstorm?
Fuck.
Is everything... Hey, where...
Yeah, the back of my throat's pretty
Bill?
ashy right now.
We forgot Bill.
We love Bill.
All right.
We love Bill. Okay.
This is Ocaso Syrah from Mendoza, Argentina. It is 100% Shiraz or Syrah. You're going to get taste characteristics. Bold, tannic, you're goddamn right. Dry and soft. Holy tannins with this one. There is a lot going on in the back end.
Yeah.
It stays with you for a while. It's like a girlfriend who just doesn't get the hint.
Like she just won't go away.
It's just like, I'll fucking kill myself. It's like, do it. And
Yeah.
she just shows up, and it's just like, I thought you were going to fucking kill yourself.
Stupid bitch. Too
By the
pussy
way-
to kill yourself,
By the way,
bitch.
young boys out there, if you're in college, you're probably doing it virtually, but if you're trying to see a girl during this winter time, I'd say it's COVID season, so probably think twice.
Okay.
But if she says within the first 2 weeks of meeting her she's going to kill herself, she ain't going to do it. I mean,
Well, that and why don't you do as Cameron once said, and let the birds fly.
let the birds fly.
Don't play with her fuckery.
Yeah,
she needs professional help, and you're not the one to give it to her.
And you don't have the words PhD in the back end of your
No.
name. You might later on, but at this point in time in your life, you don't.
If she says, I didn't kill myself, then that's when you call the authorities and let them handle it.
So we're going to get notes of coffee, oak, and vanilla.
Yep.
Blackberry and cherry, which
Okay. I said cranberry.
I said vanilla, so okay. And
plum.
oak. What do you know? What do you know?
Yeah,
This palette, pretty good.
Okay.
I consider myself kind of a wine guy.
Oh.
Kind of a wine boy, if you will.
Bit of a wine guy.
Bit of a wine
This
guy.
is a lot less offensive once it's been aerated.
You know what I liked? We had a Friendsgiving at your house over the weekend, which I
Yes.
enjoyed very much. Your turkey was moist and delicious.
Boy.
It was that
Dry brining.
It said 2 days of dry brining.
Yes. I dry brined the turkey for 2 days.
It just hit differently. It was good.
How them drippings?
They were everything was good. Everything was good.
Yeah,
Everybody
yeah.
we brought some sort of
Y'all brought candied yams.
candy. Oh, there was that. Essentially, they were soaking in caramel.
Yes.
And it was good.
Your girlfriend embodied the spirit of a 300-pound type 2 diabetic 63-year-old black woman when she made those.
Okay, good, because that's exactly what I was going for. Because when I took a spoonful of it, I was like, "Oh my fucking god, this is caramel."
Yeah, I'm gonna rub this on my chest.
Yeah.
Like, this is...
When I put it away, I brought it home and I put it inside of a Tupperware container. It's just congealed on the top.
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah.
I said, "Now that's downhill. That's just downhill cooking
just
right there."
microwave that bitch up. We ready to go.
Yeah, it turns into its own gravy. That's how I feel. Like the day after Thanksgiving, Boyzgiving, when I make my sandwiches, the turkey's always got that little grizzle on the top. And you just scoop it right on the sandwich, microwave it. It's just new gravy, baby.
I actually made myself after our Friendsgiving. Well, the next day we had leftovers for supper, and I made myself an open-faced Thanksgiving sandwich.
So good.
Where I took 2 pieces of bread, brioche, of course, the Sara Lee variety, because the boys is fancy out in these streets. There's a Thanksgiving-style hot brown now that I think about it.
I was actually just going to say that.
Yeah, it was it was a hot brown with an unlimited budget. I took 2 slices of Sara Lee bread, the brioche type, not Wonder Bread, because I'm not poor. Then mashed potatoes on top of that, layer of gravy, leftover turkey on top of that, another layer of gravy.
Yikes.
Microwaved it all up and ate it like the fat whore I am.
While watching Oprah Winfrey.
Yeah, watching weight loss stories on TLC.
As I was watching my 600-pound life. Talk about now that is the circle of life.
Yes.
If I've ever seen one, you're just eating an open-faced turkey sandwich, dripping it on your chest, and you're looking at this girl. It's just like fat bitch. And you're just eating.
Just eating. Oh, fuck, spilled gravy.
Oh, I gotta get the drip, and you just suck your shirt because you just spilled gravy on yourself.
It's still good as long as it doesn't dry.
You just suckling your shirt.
I gotta suck it out before I can put the shout on it. Get the stain out.
I gotta keep this Tide Magic Eraser inside of my jean pocket. Oh God! Anybody want some more turkey?
You want one of these? The makings are in the fridge.
I had an uncle who was always the turkey guy.
Confined to the couch.
Yeah, well, after he was done, but he was a toothpick guy. He was the kind of he would have toothpicks like in his pocket.
Oh,
So,
that legend.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and he would just be like, "Need a toothpick?" And I'll be like, "Uh huh." And that was like back in the day. So that was like mid 90s. That's when I was.
He wore white leather New Balances, didn't he?
Yo, yeah. No, you nailed this guy. Leather jacket.
Oh, yeah.
Light blue denim jeans.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, you know exactly.
In a very baggy fit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Backwards. He used to wear, remember the old like leather hats?
Yep.
Yeah, backwards. Oakland Raiders hat.
Yep. Leather.
Yep, leather. He's just a cool guy. And you always have the toothpicks because he knew he was going to have a big meal. But it's the old guy that like really, really like gets the food out of his teeth. And
like he's working his mouth.
And he's working it, and you can hear it going on. Like you're watching football. I was probably 6, but like I just remember the noises. The noises will live with me for the rest of my life.
It's the sucking,
and it's just it sounds like a chipmunk, like they've just got a nut, and but it's like every single whistle and little chip, like it's like he's re-eating all the food that gets stuck.
This is the after dinner appetizer.
Yeah. And he's just like, I mean, you could hear the wood just. It's like he's literally doing dental work.
Called the ADA, the after dinner appetizer. That's what we call that.
The ADA, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but man, like I could never be that. I mean, I could probably be that uncle one day, but just the dental work that was going on post meal.
Oh, the man was a legend.
No, it's just. I mean, he got it. There's some people that just get it.
See, now what I was never able to do was like. It sounds like your uncle is better with a toothpick than I am with standard floss.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Like, because you go to the dentist, and they're all like, "You don't floss, do you?" You're like, "I actually do." And they're like, "Well, you ain't good at it." So, and I feel like that's everybody when they go to the dentist. Like,
there's nothing more, I think, detrimental to someone's well-being than being told like something that they do and they do it poorly.
Yeah.
It's like
when have you ever been told that you floss well when you go to the dentist?
One time, and I don't even floss. I'm not a flosser. I have these like my issue is like my gums get swollen, so if I ever get down too far, I bleed. I'm a bleeder, and it's not because I have like bad gums. It's just my teeth is very sensitive, and the lining of my gums are very sensitive. So I don't really have to floss. And I never really get in trouble, except once I just got done eating. And I was stupid. I had a dentist appointment like 2 hours later, and I was like, I shouldn't have ate. And they looked at me. They're like, you actively have food in your mouth right now. And I'm just like, oh, sorry. I just ate. And they're like, you shouldn't do that before you come to the dentist. I was like, bitch, don't tell me to live my life.
Yeah. Every time I go to the dentist and they like start cleaning away, and I'm like, so does it look like I floss? And then she was like, nah, not really. And I'm like, bitch, I floss every fucking night.
Is it the dental hygienist or the dentist?
It's the hygienist.
See, they are Nazi dentists.
Yes.
In their rarest form. They walk in and they have their little tooth scraper and they walk in and they go, oh, did you floss today? Huh? And you're just like, I did. And you're just like, well, I do not see look at this plaque and tartar built up. You see this? And they'll show it to you like, you see this? This is in your mouth, you whore.
Now, you know what I think it is, though? I think it's because the hygienists, they're not
dentists.
But they're doing the work, though. They're the ones that are in there cleaning your mouth.
Yeah, the dentists are just there to look good.
Yeah, the dentist is like Russell Simmons at the end of Def Comedy Jam. He just comes in, looks real quick. All right, thank you, good night. Like,
just like, wait, you gonna operate? It's just like, nah, man. Everybody did all the work. I'm just here to collect.
Looks good.
I'm just here to collect the insurance money.
Yeah. Let's go over your X-rays. Like that's it. Like, but your average dentist trip, the dentist just kind of pokes his head in after you're cleaning or whatever. He just looks.
You guys done?
All right, cool. And then just leaves. Like, all right, looks good. That's it.
All right, let's get her out.
Makes the big bucks.
Close the hood. Let's get her out of here.
Yep.
All right, sir. Just want to verify that your oil is full and ready to go.
He's the Valvoline guy that takes your credit card at the end.
Just like, hey, where's Larry? It's like Jim's the credit card guy.
Yeah.
Jim's the money man. There was, speaking of money men, we were talking about one David Chappelle.
Yeah.
And I always respect somebody that once they find out truly how much money they could be making off of themselves after many, many years of reflection and kind of like fuckery, if you want to give it that way.
Yeah.
Where they didn't, like, Dave Chappelle has never really given a fuck.
No.
But to a certain extent, like, he's a good businessman, obviously.
Oh yeah.
But he legitimately put out a comedy special on Instagram.
Yeah.
18 minutes long. That's all you need.
Even though I believe he's still under contract with Netflix.
He is technically. Now, within reason. Like, he's allowed to do whatever he wants. It's his personal property. Nobody owns his Instagram. But
that, and he built his own stage on his own property.
Yeah, he did.
He hired people to run the cameras. He hired his own security.
Yeah.
He did the whole shit himself.
Yeah. Which basically then always... This era that we're in, this podcast era, as we sit here and do a podcast, we have no backing. I mean, we're literally doing it in a basement next to a water boiler.
Oh, we're bootstrapping this entire thing.
We are bootstrapping this because we can. It's that easy. For anybody that says they can't do this, you're lying to yourself because you
haven't tried.
You haven't tried.
That's it.
We are trying just hard enough at this point.
Oh, yeah.
Just wait till we try. Oh, you'll see.
Oh, you see how hard I try, baby. Shit.
Wait, when you pull up to the Mercedes at the high school and you're just like, see me now, Mrs. Jenkins. Like, how's your husband? Oh, he's still dead? Like...
I don't know. Whenever I think about like pulling up to a high school in a Mercedes as like a 30-year-old, I just automatically go to like creep mode.
Yeah.
Like maybe not 30.
I'm thinking like 20th high school reunion. Like, okay, imagine this. We'll get back to the whole Dave Chappelle point. But you and I go to our 25th year high school reunion. Okay, so now we're at both the tender age of, let's see, 43, roughly. So we're in our early 40s. Okay, you and I have taken this and created this thing, this empire.
Yeah.
We've created this, and people know who we are before we even get there. And we both pull up in very nice cars, and we walk in, and everyone's just like, "Holy shit, there's Gerald and Zach." And
what's up?
And we just walk in the room and don't talk to anybody. And we just kind of look around at him and just like, and I'll be like, bitch. They just start swatting people away. Like, get out of here. Like, I did this myself. Like, you don't have to tell me your next idea you have. Like, that's the kind of stuff that I look forward to.
This is what you want to do?
This is something I look forward to.
To be honest, I could stay home. I don't want to go to my high school reunion.
No, I don't even want to, but I'm just envisioning like the thing that motivates me is to get the phone call from the guy in high school who was like, "Hey man, I got this idea," and you just hang up on him. Like that's, I didn't
like you in 07.
Yeah, it's just like, why the fuck do you think 20 years later I'm gonna like you all of a sudden?
Yeah.
Oh, you got a kid and a mortgage? So do I, bitch. Like,
yeah.
I just happen to have
Mine's bigger.
Mine's bigger because I happen to have done better than you. You want to know why? Because I fucking tried. You gave up after high school. That's not my fault. Look.
Yeah, nice class ring, you fuck.
Yeah. I have a huge problem with class rings.
Yeah.
I judge mightily the person that pointed out their class ring to me. I still see guys out and about in our town that are sporting the class ring who's just like, yeah, man, whatever, high school, 1992,
wait.
I was the football captain.
You've seen guys still wearing high school class rings? High school class rings?
High school class rings. That's a part. That's what they do. They wake up in the morning, they put on their suits, they put on their shoes, they put on their class ring.
Okay, nothing says I peaked at the age of 17 like a high school class ring.
And I already know what that guy's doing, okay?
I spent more time creating a persona than a personality. Like,
as soon as he got out of the four walls of that high school, he started walking around, looking around, being like, fuck, there's a lot of other stuff going on around here.
Yeah.
People are asking me about, like, religion, politics, business classes, ethics. And I'm like, what the fuck? You're saying stuff that I never figured out because I was too busy getting sized for my class ring. Like,
nobody cares about high school football.
Nobody gives a fuck after high school about high school.
Nobody cares about high school after high school.
Unless you become a teacher at a high school.
Then you care about high school because you're paid to care about high school.
That's it. Anywho. Speaking of so Dave Chappelle doesn't care. That's basically the moral of the story. Yeah. He's the kind of guy that walks into he doesn't walk into a 25th high school reunion because he's Dave Chappelle. He is now disputing, or not really disputing, but he asked Netflix to take down the Chappelle Show, because it was just newly added to the Netflix lineup this month, and it's gone as of today. He asked, and they did. Now, that's big ups to Netflix. I mean, mind you, one of the richest companies in the world. No, they don't have to do anything for anybody.
Right.
But
now,
to save...
did Netflix realize that Dave Chappelle wasn't getting royalties for that?
Now, I don't know that because I haven't read enough of the story, and there's not enough layers to it. The only thing that's been reported and what I've seen so far is that essentially... I've watched a couple. I haven't watched the full special, so I can't quote everything that he says. But essentially, what it looks like is Chappelle asked his people to do it because he wants to collect his royalties and wants to collect. I guess they owe him money for some sort of appearances or basically something to do with the show.
Okay,
15 plus years ago.
Yeah. So
and he hasn't collected, and now he wants his money. And he's understandable. The guy is a goddamn legend. I mean, he everything he created was himself and a few choice writers.
Now, maybe, and I don't really fully know how this works, but maybe Netflix says, hey, we want to put Chappelle's Show on our platform. So we have to go to the lawyers of Comedy Central because I'm assuming Comedy Central owns the rights to the show.
Comedy Central is owned by a company called Viacom. Viacom owns MTV, Comedy Central,
Nickelodeon,
VH1, those networks.
So,
and it's basically syndication contracts.
So basically Netflix goes to Viacom, says, "Hey, we want to put some of your shows on our platform.
Yep.
What do you have?"
Yeah, and then they pay a sum of money for what they can. It's different because I don't think you can't necessarily call it syndication because syndication comes from the old network or the old broadcast days.
Yeah, where you get a certain amount of money per every time they play the show.
Yeah, Seinfeld ends on NBC, is then redistributed to other networks and then played back. And then royalties are cut based on episodes aired. So so that's why Jerry Seinfeld's worth $1 billion because Seinfeld is literally on everywhere today.
Yeah, but also the deal that Jerry Seinfeld signed with NBC gave him rights to the show.
Correct.
Maybe not exclusive.
But
maybe he didn't own the entire show.
He executive produced the show with Larry David.
Right.
Essentially, Larry David created the show, but Seinfeld.
He owns a large chunk of the show, and that's why he gets so much. And Dave Chappelle is basically like, hold it, Fred. You went to Viacom to be able to get the rights to play the show on Netflix, but I'm not seeing any of that money.
That's my understanding.
Netflix may not have known that Dave Chappelle didn't get anything for that. So, and maybe that has to do with a contract that Dave Chappelle signed with Viacom.
However many years ago.
Back in 2003 or whenever the show first aired. I believe it was 2003. So, and maybe that's it.
I mean, it dates back that far, but I mean, then it becomes a statute of limitations issue. Like, how far back will you go to make this go to court?
Right. Because now maybe something has to happen where Dave Chappelle has to agree to buy the rights to his show, or at least a certain percentage of the rights to his show,
and then he can redistribute based off of that.
Yeah, he can redistribute, or he can. Yeah. Come to an agreement with Viacom or whatever.
That goes back to the conversation we had a couple weeks ago when we were talking about Trey Parker and Matt Stone.
Yeah,
from South Park.
They own the show.
Well, the thing is, though, is that when they basically they got pilot deals and they got initial contracts with Comedy Central, which the first basically they were development deals. They were just saying, you're going to develop this show and we're going to pilot it and we're going to see how it goes. And now it's the longest running animated adult series next to The Simpsons.
Yeah,
crazy. South Park and The Simpsons. Who would have thunk it?
Yeah, which is crazy because The Simpsons actually has South Park beat by like 10 years.
I know. The Simpsons were on in like 1990.
Yeah,
I wasn't even born yet, and The Simpsons were pumping out episodes. I mean, The Simpsons. The Simpsons and I are the same age. That's how I know.
Yeah,
I've lived a different kind of life. Yeah. Bart Simpson's still 8 years old. I mean, it's just
we're 30.
Yeah, we're 30. Fucking Stan Marsh is still 8.
Yeah,
it's just. The whole thing with that is that when they renegotiated their contracts, because South Park obviously got huge, they were the first to essentially go any type of distribution, digital, redistribution on DVD, anything that you guys put our name association to is ours.
Right.
And you give us money for that.
Basically, we own the rights to the show.
We own everything. So anytime you pop it on a digital platform, anytime you put it on a disc, anytime you want to stream it anywhere, ask us. We'll say yes. You give us the money for it.
But you're going to do it on our terms.
Yeah, that's why I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think they're the 5th. I looked this up the other day. You actually might be able to look this up now. Like the highest grossing comedians. I guess you want to call it comedians or comedy of all time. I think they're like the 5th highest grossing comedians. It's crazy how much money they have. And it's all because of that new deal they cut for themselves. And honestly, it might have just been a lawyer who was just like, I kind of got an idea.
Yeah.
So, all right. So this is from 2019.
This is from Forbes. Let's see.
All right. So, this is 2019 though.
Yeah,
so I think these are
Kevin
performing stand-ups.
Yeah, we don't want highest paid comedians.
Yeah, these are touring stand-up comics.
Yeah.
So, guys, I mean,
Kevin Hart
and Jerry Seinfeld, of course. Yeah, those.
Yeah.
That goes without saying. Maybe it's, I don't even know if you want to call it stand-up comics, but it would probably be something along the lines of
Jesus Christ.
About how much money Larry David makes?
Yeah. Larry David's net worth is $930 million. You know what? If I had $930 million, I would be angry because I'm like that close to $1 billion.
I know. That's how I would feel.
I'd be bitter. And people would look at me like, what the fuck is your problem? Like, you have more money than
Maybe
God.
that's what Larry David's issue is, and that's why he's still so cynical.
He's such like a curmudgeon.
Yeah.
Curb
He's just
Your Enthusiasm.
sitting there eating Pinkberry. He's just like, $70 million away, Jerry.
70
million away.
Hey, listen, Jerry.
Why can we pump out like 3 or 4 more episodes?
That's it. That's all I mean. I just need a 10 episode deal. We're there.
Crazy.
Drew Carey, really?
Yeah, Drew Carey's worth a lot of money. Yeah.
That makes sense. Adam Sandler.
Leno made a shitload of money.
Yeah. Ellen DeGeneres. You're so Who? Bill Cosby. Okay.
Bill Cosby made a lot of money.
Bill Cosby made a lot. David Letterman, Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah. Larry.
David.
I know.
I didn't think he had more than Jerry Seinfeld.
Everything Seinfeld is attached to is Larry David.
Yeah, but
everything.
Yeah.
Everything. You have to remember too, he also has Curb on top of that.
He does.
Jerry's not. The only thing Jerry's producing is what? Comedians in cars getting coffee?
Yeah, that's on Crackle.
And that's on well, no, it's on Netflix now.
Yeah.
He's gonna get that Netflix money.
Ooh, get the bag.
I love
I get the bag.
There was what episode was it? Oh, he did the one when he did the one with Chris Rock. Mm-hmm. Did you watch the one with Chris Rock?
I think I did. Yeah.
And he was so I just imagine Chris Rock is a funny guy all the time, but it's always the same person. Like anytime the camera turns on, he's just like, "Let me tell you something, Jerry." It makes me laugh.
Yep.
It's just the persona that is Chris Rock. He didn't even need to speak a word, and I was in. I was like, okay.
It's Chris Rock. By the way, top 5 might be the last great R-rated comedy. We talked about this a couple episodes ago.
It is a pretty good movie. It really is pretty good.
It's the scene where Chris Rock is having a threesome with the 2 women, and then Cedric the Entertainer comes in and takes over.
Yeah.
And that is comedy gold.
It's a very good movie.
Yeah.
I behoove.
Rock.
I behoove the boys to check out Top 5.
Top 5 is a hilarious movie.
Let me just kind of look. I want to get the concept of the film for the boys.
Okay.
So, came out in 2014 already. Top 5.
Yep.
Though he began as a stand-up comic, Andre Allen, Chris Rock, go figure, hit the big time as the star of a trilogy of action comedies about a talking bear. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Andre is forced to spend the day with Chelsea Rosario Dawson, a profile writer from the New York Times, who is a film critic, and has panned Andre's passion project about a Haitian revolution. Unexpectedly, Andre opens up to Chelsea, and as they wind their way across New York, Andre tries to get back in touch with his comedic roots.
Yep.
Yeah. Interesting concept. I forgot JB Smoove was in this movie too.
Yep.
Felt like kind of an extension of Curb Your Enthusiasm a little bit.
It kind of did.
There's a couple of guys I was like, oh, he's in Curb.
But Leslie Jones is in it.
Yep.
Cedric the Entertainer's in it.
It's a who's who of like really good comics. Like
Yes.
it's just it's a good movie.
Yeah. Also, Deep Cut, DMX is in it.
Where?
You got to rewatch it.
Okay. I haven't watched it in a couple of years.
Yeah, you got to rewatch it. Top 5 is a hilarious movie.
Yeah, there's a couple of movies that when you kind of stumble across them, you're like, wow, I can't believe that. I did watch Half Baked the other day, speaking of Dave Chappelle, because we're kind of like, we're kind of circling back to the fact that like it always kind of comes back to like this independent distribution era that we're in.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, in 2020, with everything at your disposal, like the only person that stops yourself is yourself at this point in time.
Right.
Like,
But what's happening now is you're seeing a lot of these guys that are older now and rich and wiser realizing, holy shit, these suits are making all of this money off of shit that I made.
And I could have just negotiated better.
Yeah, like, what the fuck? Even then, though, recently you've heard Dave Chappelle say shit about how Chappelle's show was up on Netflix and he wasn't seeing a dime from it. He didn't even know it was on there. On the Joe Rogan I know there's other podcasts. The Joe Rogan podcast with Dave Chappelle, Donald Rollins. And I believe Joe Rogan mentioned Chappelle's show being up on Netflix. And Dave was like, really? That's up there? Mm-hmm. Remember that part? Yeah. And then Dave Chappelle does his monologue on SNL, his latest one. And he basically said, like, I'm not seeing shit from that. So so you could tell that it was kind of bothering him.
Bubbling under the surface.
Yeah, like, wait, I made that show and I'm not getting paid for it.
Well, also, too, I also kind of think he didn't befriend Kanye, but like Kanye kind of befriended Dave.
They've known each other for a long time.
They've known each other for a long time, but Kanye has this like perpetual thing against the record industry, which is a lot of rappers nowadays do.
Kanye's is a little weird.
That's because he goes on these 10-page long Twitter tangents about like, well, you're holding down, you're oppressing, you're turning us into slaves, and it's like, oh my god, he's going off again.
But here's the difference, all right? So Kanye's renegotiated his contract several times.
Yeah, but he owns his own music now. Like he owns
now. Yeah.
Like, good music is still a thing.
He's had chances to get his own masters. Instead of getting his masters, he took a larger signing bonus. Mm-hmm. And he's done that on a couple of occasions. And then also, when you factor in the fact that not everybody on Good Music owns their own masters and had to sue to be able to get them.
Like?
Big Sean had to do that. Tiana Taylor didn't own her own masters. Designer doesn't own his own masters. I think Kid Cudi had an issue with that.
Yeah, but didn't Cudi end up getting his masters?
I think Kid Cudi ended up getting them, but he had to fight for them.
Okay,
so it was.
Those are the ones you don't really hear much about. The Big Sean one, I'm pretty familiar with.
Yeah, and Big Sean was pissed at Kanye for a while because he didn't own his own masters, and Kanye wouldn't release them. So it's kind of like, okay, Kanye's gonna cry all this, free us. This is modern slavery and all that shit.
So he's owns crying poverty, but he's not.
But he's doing the same shit to other people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he's a.
And then there were artists that came out that said that they were offered a deal from Good Music, and basically told Kanye, I want to own my masters, and Kanye basically said no and pulled the deal because he wouldn't let them own their own publishing.
Well, yeah, because then they wouldn't need the label anymore.
Yeah, well, essentially it would be a distribution deal. It wouldn't be necessarily a record deal anymore.
How familiar are you with like the masters and like the way it kind of the outlet to the music industry?
A little bit.
So like the way that I understand it is that it's the master track. It's basically the released music.
Yeah.
And you then have redistribution rights once you own them.
Yes.
Is that correct?
So essentially,
I think I'm trying to understand it because it's not as complex as it probably seems.
No, it's not.
It seems just as easy as like you make a movie, and you're like, this is my movie,
exactly,
and then you give it to Sony, and they redistribute it to the movie theaters.
They distribute it,
Except instead of using Sony, you just use yourself, and you make the money
exactly.
for yourself.
So not exactly. So the way it works is
so I am wrong.
the way it works is okay. Let's say I record a song, right? So I sign a recording deal with, let's say, I don't know, fucking
Paramount.
Well, I'm saying like music. So let's say I sign a deal.
You can do Sony too.
Okay,
Sony works for that example.
Yeah, so I'll say I sign a deal with Sony Records or whatever.
So
okay?
I think it's was the Sony Music Group now?
Sony Music
SMG?
Group, whatever it is, yeah. And initially in the deal, if I don't own my own masters, the way it works is Sony puts up all of the money for me to be able to record this album. And essentially, once it's done, Sony owns the rights to the music that I recorded. Mm-hmm. So Sony does all of the work to put the music out there, to push the music. They make sure it gets on the radio. They make sure it gets on those top playlists on Spotify or whatever.
They do all the marketing and
they do all the marketing,
selling.
all
They
the
push
pushing.
everything.
Yeah. And they own the actual rights to my music.
So essentially, all you do is art. You just
I made the music. They own the music and they sell the music out to everybody. So that's what happens. Essentially, they're the ones that they pay me based on how my music did. Mm-hmm. Whereas if you owned your masters, if you own the rights to your music, then essentially you and Sony would be partners, and it would be like, okay, I make the music, I own the music, I'm giving you permission to push it out there to sell it. Mm-hmm. And you make this much, I make this much, but I keep the rights to all my music.
Yeah, so it's a negotiated percentage.
Right. So years and years and years later, if, I don't know, I get into a contract dispute with Sony or whatever,
you can just leave.
I can leave, but I still own my music, so I can still perform Ice Ice Baby on the Super Bowl because I own it.
Okay.
Now, also another sneaky thing that happened in the music industry was Michael Jackson. You ever hear about this?
If it's the same story, I'm thinking...
He bought the Beatles category.
Category. The catalog. The catalog, yeah.
Yeah, he bought the Beatles catalog. As Michael Jackson found out, he was talking to Paul McCartney about masters and ownership and all that, and he was like, listen, like, you don't own the rights to your own music. Michael's like, I didn't know that. So Michael went, he bought back his own catalog, and then he did some research, found out that none of the Beatles actually owned their own catalog, so he bought it.
So Paul McCartney tells him what to do, and then gets his music stolen from him, essentially.
Not stolen, he just bought it. Michael Jackson just bought the Beatles catalog after Paul McCartney explained it. Because I guess Paul McCartney basically told him, like, now I own the rights to all my own music, which Paul McCartney does own the rights to all of his solo stuff.
But not the Beatles.
But he didn't own the rights to the Beatles stuff. And I believe the Jackson family still owns the rights to the Beatles catalog.
So anytime the Beatles is like on anything, it goes to the Jackson family?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's wild.
Isn't that crazy, right?
So you hear Eleanor Rigby. Shit, me just saying Eleanor Rigby.
Yeah, I feel like we're going to get in trouble.
We'll get sued.
Yeah, we're going to get a fucking cease and desist from the Jackson family.
Yeah. Jermaine's going to come and kick in the door.
You're going to send me a text and you're just going to send me a picture, just like, look what I got.
Yeah.
And I'm like, really?
Fuck. Yeah.
What is Jermaine Jackson doing in your living room?
Yeah. I'm like, this dude is so greasy.
He looks like he's run a 10K twice. Yeah. Like, he looks real sweaty.
Nobody takes you seriously, Tito. So...
God, Tito Jackson, I'm sorry.
So, yeah, but that's the fight, though, that Dave Chappelle's in, is that he made this TV show years ago, but
I was harking back to music
it.
because that's always, this seems to be like in the news. It's
it's similar.
It's entertainment.
It's similar. Yeah. So, but the problem is that now that we're in the streaming era, that anybody can pretty much put it out there now. Mm-hmm. Like, you don't really need the big guys for distribution. Now, I mean, shit, like this podcast, for example, right? It's on Spotify. It's on Apple Podcasts.
Yes, it is.
It's pretty much anywhere where you can find a podcast. You can find this podcast.
Before you continue, we're on Spotify and Apple Music, Stitcher, and all of your other podcast platforms if you like to listen to the Wine Boys podcast.
Right.
Thank you, and I love you.
Right. We didn't need anybody to do that for us. I figured it out. And the information's out there. You can do it.
It's the old adage. Hey, figure it out.
Figure it out.
Figure it out.
Yes.
What are you going to do? You're going to sit there and you're going to sulk? Oh, I don't look good enough.
Yeah.
Oh, my friends think I don't look good. It's like,
right.
Then fuck your friends. Go find friends on the internet.
Yeah. So
figure it out.
The information's out there. Figure it out. But that's the reason why you have certain artists, you look at like a Nipsey Hussle, you look at like a Dom Kennedy, You wonder, like, okay, how are you look at Larry June or Currency, you know, and you look at these guys they don't have the biggest audience, but they seem like financially they're doing pretty good.
Yeah, because they own everything.
They own everything, yeah.
Even Freddie Gibbs up to like last year.
I would say Freddie Gibbs in like the last 2 years has kind of figured it out. And that's when he really started making money doing this.
By the way, shouts out to Freddie, got his Grammy now.
Yeah, he's nominated for a Grammy. By the way, you see Cuomo like won an Emmy?
Yes.
For the quarantine, for his quarantine daily broadcast?
They'll give anybody a fucking trophy.
You know what? I would.
Did you honestly
just get the Emmy tattooed on your chest?
You should.
Right in
next to
between
his
your
nipple rings. Yeah.
Like, come on.
You know who should get the Emmy? The sign language guy. You ever see the sign language guy in the right corner? And he is fucking. Just he is hard gesturing everything.
I just want them to like put a mic on the sound on the. Just put a mic on him. On the sign language guy.
He's doing the fucking like stomp.
It sounds like that Nike basketball commercial where they're dribbling.
Like it's
boom, 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 boom.
Yeah,
boom.
It's basically the stomp soundtrack. I admire. I know nothing about American Sign Language.
Oh, me either.
But the way I've gotten so many coronavirus like New York daily briefings. I'm watching like Cuomo, and it's funny because sometimes because Cuomo has these like dramatic pauses, like he's doing some sort of like dramatic reading, which he essentially is. He's just sitting up there, just being like, "We have to wear your masks." And then he pauses. He pauses and waits. I told you that if you didn't wear your mask, Grandma wasn't going to be able to come home for Thanksgiving. And now
Grandma's dead.
Now Grandma has to stay in the home. Now
the home.
Period. But I actually watched the Cuomo presser the other day.
Okay.
And
now my daughter.
He said, so I made the comment, I tweeted about it, and he made the comment of, my daughter can't come home for the holidays now because of where we are in this wave. And my thought was, like, I think I said something on Twitter along the lines of, like, Andrew Cuomo is a fearless leader. He leads by example. And I said, now I will lead by example by telling my family to not come home for the holidays. Like
oh, man.
I feel like there's people out there that their relationships with their families can be skewed.
Yeah.
And that if they really want to talk to them, like, they can talk to them behind a screen. Like,
oh, yeah.
It's very plausible. If you're not talking to your family, it's obviously an issue with you and your family at that point.
Yeah.
But when he made that comment, I was like, okay. So basically what Czar Cuomo is telling us now is that King Cuomo wants to really wants to keep us home. Like because he wants to go up during he want to they gave him an Emmy.
They gave him an Emmy. He's zaddy.
He gave him a fucking Emmy for going out there and saying, I told you to wear your mask, now Grandma's dead. My brother
got it. His fucking brother got
Chris
it.
Cuomo, he's doing deadlifts in his office right now.
He got rid of it by flexing.
Yeah. Guess what? Coronavirus, you know what you have to do? Wear tight shirts. Doesn't make the diaphragm expand, dies.
You sound like Sebastian Maniscalco now.
I just realized that.
Fucking dice.
Wait a minute. You're on something here.
Okay.
What if Sebastian Maniscalco is a Cuomo? He might be.
Okay.
He gestures like them. He has a very similar delivery. He walks up to the door and he's just like, look who's here.
All right, Lorne Michaels, if you're listening, SNL, you guys need to reenact the Cuomo coronavirus briefings.
With Sebastian Maniscalco.
You call Sebastian Maniscalco and get him to play Andrew Cuomo.
You know what the problem is?
What?
Sebastian Maniscalco costs too much.
I mean, they got Bill Burr.
I mean, Bill Burr.
But he doesn't make Sebastian money, though.
I know Bill Burr's doing well, but Sebastian Maniscalco is like a top 10 grossing comedian right now.
They got Dave Chappelle.
I know. Maybe you're right. You know what?
I think they could do it. They could do
Lorne Michaels, dig deep in those pockets. While he drinks a lot of Chardonnay. I've learned this over the years of watching Saturday Night Live. Lorne Michaels is a wine guy. He walks up on stage and he's just like, probably goes up to Dave Chappelle.
Yep.
David, I loved your bit about the white ladies.
Yeah. But yeah,
Just swirling Chardonnay.
I'm telling you, for SNL, if they wanted to do an Andrew Cuomo, Sebastian Maniscalco would be perfect.
He does have the same facial features, very hardcore New York Italian.
Well, actually, Sebastian's from Chicago.
That's the weird
But
part.
it's
Is
still-
that his demeanor,
It's similar lineage.
his demonstrative attitude is very New York, and he's lived there long enough.
Yeah.
His whole comedy career was basically in New York City.
Yes, but
and
he's...
then he cut his teeth. Then he went out to L.A. and that's when he became famous.
Right.
Hey kid, come here. Listen. You got a car. Now you need a powerful engine. Come to Los Angeles.
Right. But it's kind of like his... I don't think it's so much a New York thing. I think it's an Italian thing. That's really what I think it is. Because you think about how... I've listened to enough of his comedy to realize that his family is not very far. His family's pretty fresh off the boat.
Yeah.
So that's where a lot of his humor comes from.
Which makes sense. I mean,
Yeah.
I've never. I will admit it. I was never a huge Sebastian Maniscalco fan. You know, as a comic, I'm not someone that. But like my comedic ethos is not over demonstrating and
He's a
using
better
my
Dane
body.
Cook.
Well, see, that's the thing, is that's why Dane Cook got a lot of shit, because everybody just said, well, his writing is shit. It's like, no, man, like Dane Cook actually had some pretty good shit. Like some of his bits, mind you, his overacting and his like.
But it worked.
But that's the thing, is like for that time worked perfectly. But the thing is, though, if you go back to like the writing is fucking really good. Like, it's very funny.
Some of it is.
Nobody acts out that hard unless they're writing well.
I was actually like driving home one night and I thought of an old Dane Cook bit.
Was it the?
I can't remember which one it was.
Fuck,
but I thought
fuck
about
shoes. Like,
no, it wasn't fuck shoes. It was.
there's a couple of them that are just.
But
like,
there was one I thought of like recently. And I can't remember what it was. It's like gone.
This is how you date yourself. Now that you're in your 30s, you can now go back to like I remember back in my day when I had an iPod.
Yeah.
And I was going through and I had the entire catalog of Dane Cook.
You were a huge Dane Cook fan.
I was a big Dane Cook fan. Yep.
In school.
Yep. I went to he came through with the what the fuck was the name of the tour? The HBO docuseries. Torgasm. Did Torgasm in Syracuse. I went to the show. Mind you, now I was not familiar with guys like Robert Kelly and Gary Goldman yet. Robert Kelly is one of the best comics in New York still right now. Gary Goldman too. Gary Goldman has this amazing series of books about dealing with depression. I actually started reading one because I'm a manic depressant, and it really helped me open up a little bit because I was like, look at this guy. Used to get angry about when people would heckle him and like get into his head, and then he just kind of said, "No, fuck these people. I'm not doing it for you. I'm doing it for me.
Yeah.
And you just happen to be here."
Yeah.
But like I love that mindset though. It's like I'm doing this, and I'm glad that you like it.
Right. But I love though when you see those stand-ups that actually bring people on the road that are funnier than them. So, and you can respect Dane Cook for that.
Yeah.
Robert Kelly's
a murderer. Like, he is by far one of the best comics working today.
Oh, even Kevin Hart.
Well, he would bring...
he brings his whole crew, the Plastic Cup Boys. Naeem is funnier than Kevin Hart.
Naeem is really fucking funny. Man.
Naeem is funnier than Kevin Hart.
He's a killer.
I actually saw them live when they came here like a couple years ago.
I would say I've not seen any of them.
Naeem is funnier than Kevin Hart.
It's a bold
stand-up wise. I stand behind it. He is funny.
He does kill. I mean, I've only watched a handful of his stuff, and it's every time I'm like, that's a good bit. That's really funny.
Granted, here's the thing. I think Kevin Hart is funny. He definitely is. I think he's a better personality on screen than he is doing stand-up. However, I do like him doing stand-up, but I think he's a better comedic actor.
Have you watched his new special on Netflix yet?
The one that just came out?
Yeah, the one
I
he's
didn't
doing
watch
in his
that
house.
one yet. No, I didn't watch it yet.
I've heard a very mixed bag.
Okay.
Like, and I think it's mostly because as you become progressively more famous, you get critics, and
does he have an audience, or is it just him in his living?
It's a masked audience, like an audience in distance and wearing masks.
Okay. Because that's the thing, though,
in his living room.
Okay, because you've heard about people trying to make a comedy club on Zoom or whatever. It's just some person in their fucking studio apartment telling jokes.
I have my now,
and it's like there's no audience. It doesn't work.
I have my theory. I've done one Zoom show.
Oh God.
Okay? Now, I am very much I'm an audience guy.
Okay.
I need it's my inner thought processing. I need that joke needs to land. I need the laughter, or it doesn't do it for me.
Okay.
That's my drug.
And that's what I look at. See, I'm not a stand-up, but I am a huge fan of stand-up comedy.
I'm beginning to do stand-up.
Okay.
And as I've been doing it, now that I did it for a couple of years, and then once we got into this Zoom era, I get hit up on a fairly regular basis. Hey, do you want to do the Zoom show? And I keep saying no, and I'm starting to feel bad a little bit. But I did one, man, and it's like
it was flat, wasn't it?
It's flat, and you're mostly talking to comics. It's like go to an open mic.
Yeah,
any open mic. This is the biggest problem. It's like working out. You know, you're not going to lose weight right away, and you're not going to get good at comedy right away. I suck at comedy right now. I know that for a fact. Now, when I say suck at comedy, not meaning that I don't think I wouldn't be doing it unless I thought it was funny. I suck at comedy from the aspect that there are other comedians that are definitely better than me because they've done it longer and they've gotten their comedy muscle. It's the whole thing of working out. You just got to do it. Over and over and over.
Keep doing it.
And as soon as COVID hit, I looked at myself and I go, fuck, I can't do this as often as I would like to. So my comedy muscle is going to weaken. I'm gonna lose the muscle that I was starting to gain. So I was like, maybe I'll do a Zoom show. I'll see how it goes. And I did it, and I said, this fucking sucks. Like it's just.
Was it more similar to doing a podcast?
Kinda, but it was. Okay. But you're trying to punchlines.
Okay.
To an audience that you can't see. You're talking to a screen. You see the square boxes, and you see, like, some people don't even have their cameras on. So it's just like the name. It's like Martha Johnson. It's just like Martha Johnson doesn't give a flying fuck about the shit that I took today. Like, it's just, that's how I feel. Martha Johnson might like girthy shits. I don't know that though.
But what I was saying though is, as a fan of comedy, and I've been a very big comedy fan for a long time, is I understand that there's a certain rhythm that you have to catch as you're playing off of the audience. You know, there's a feedback loop there. You laugh, they like it, I keep going. Zoom show, you're alone in your house, you're telling jokes to this computer. Like, it's not the same as standing on a stage and the lights, and you're holding a microphone and the nerves that come along with that, and the full animate, because you're standing in your fucking living room staring at a computer.
I wasn't standing. I was sitting.
You're sitting.
I'm doing sit-down comedy. I'm John fucking Stewart.
Yeah, you're fucking Bill Cosby himself.
Bad reference.
Well, I mean, okay, but he was the OG sit-down comic.
He was.
But you're right. Bad reference.
Yeah.
He still was, though.
It's true. He was.
I mean, come on. Bill Cosby himself holds up.
I give Jon Stewart a lot of credit because he was like I would say he was the original. He was the original news satire comedian. Like I like Trevor Noah. The Daily Show is just different without Jon Stewart.
It is different.
There was an attitude, and also a lot of the correspondents have all became like humongous stars. So
I mean, Stephen Colbert, John Oliver.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, they're both late night hosts now.
Yeah,
because of what they did. Now, mind you, they both were comedic geniuses, and it was inevitable that they were going to branch off by themselves and become
absolutely,
stars.
Yeah,
but it's again, it kind of relates back to like you're playing off your platform.
Steve Carell on the Daily Show
for a minute. Yeah, he was. Yeah. I mean, go back. Actually, this is even a good search. Just like look at the correspondents
Okay.
of The Daily Show.
Okay.
All of them legitimate stars.
Who else?
Michelle Wolf.
Yeah.
Hassan Minhaj.
That's what I was thinking. Hassan Minhaj.
Jordan
Yep.
Klepper's still doing it, but he's fucking hilarious.
Yep. No, all of them are.
They're all great.
And they're all very smart, too. That's one thing.
Who's the black guy with the glasses? The fuck's his name?
The black guy with the glasses. Oh, Gerald?
No, the other one.
Oh, okay.
No, the other black.
The other black guy with the glasses.
I gotta pee. Can we pause?
Yeah, we can pause.
All right.
Never did find out who that black guy was in the glasses. Anyway,
Speaking
of mysteries,
well, zoink Scoob.
zoink, Scoob. So,
What if we had a Scooby Doo mystery? I pull the mask off the black guy, reveals another black guy.
wow.
It never is. It's always like a werewolf that happens to be like Old Man Jenkins, who used to be the janitor at the
This
amusement
sounded
park.
like the plot to Inception at this point.
It's a black guy within a black guy.
And at the end of it all, Glenn Beck.
We've actually been living in Tommy Lauren's head this entire time.
Oh my god, it's just
In
just felonious black men.
In
That's what's
between,
there.
in between dry humor about racism and Jay Cutler,
And then just
we comb through.
subtle references. They're coming for your suburbs. Who's the they? You know.
You know, and you get just Jay Cutler ripping cigs, walking the dog. Oh god,
Dog whistle upon dog whistle upon dog whistle. You know how they are driving down the street listening to loud music. Seats leaned all the way back.
I got to be honest. I had a friend. I still have a friend. We still hang out, but white kid, but had that phase. Long. I had that phase too. I was wearing P. Miller sweatsuits.
Woo.
Yeah, that's how you knew.
Woo.
That's how you knew you were 13 and went to Kohl's. And
Coming for your suburbs.
Coming for your suburbs. I was wearing. Yeah, when Percy Miller was repping my set, I knew I was in trouble. And I loved every second of it. So there was a
Not
friend.
gonna lie. Kohl's for a sweatsuit though.
Slapper.
Yeah.
Pretty comfortable, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Still still to this day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Find my Adidas sweatsuits. Yeah.
Yes.
I was I had my friend we used to have a motor vehicle.
Okay.
Probably still does to this day. But the seat in his car was broken.
Okay.
So like the back of the seat was broken. So the only way he could get into the car was he had to lay down and then like jock the seat up just enough. So like his ass was just like the one that kept the seat up. But like whenever you would get out of the car, it would just recline back.
It just fell right back to where it was.
So whenever we would be like driving, he would be like roll down the windows and just put on like the most just West Coast rap, like loud music as you can imagine going through his very white, very pristine suburbs. And
the kind of suburbs that Donald Trump wants to protect.
The ones that
from those people.
the ones that have a housing association. Your lawn clippings are going onto the Johnson's yard. That's a fine. Like one of those.
Okay.
Your neighborhood.
Yeah, exactly.
Your neighborhood.
My neighborhood.
Yeah. Do you feel nervous here?
No.
No.
People are kind of nosy.
They
but
haven't
no, I
done
don't
like
feel
the Stepford Wives, like
people are friendly.
there's another black family in this neighborhood.
People are friendly.
Almost too friendly?
I haven't gotten that impression.
Like a Get Out kind of friendly?
Not like a Get Out friendly.
Okay. That's when you got to get worried.
But also, I feel like it's coming, like once COVID ends, that's when the full embrace, the tea mug stirring shit is going to happen. Next thing you know, I'm in the sunken place. I'm wearing a weird hat, and I'm become some older white lady's pet. You know, that sort of thing. I'm waiting for it, though. I'm kind of excited. So anyway.
I got to be honest, I can't wait to be Leslie's dog. Pretty excited about it.
Pretty excited, man. You know,
cool.
Hey, I want to be the golden retriever to an upper middle class family.
You know what? I would shit, man. What
It's a great life.
It's a great life. You barely have to do anything. You literally have to exist.
No, you just chill. You know, you wake up in the morning. You just gotta
Everybody
look.
loves you.
You just gotta look excited to see everybody.
Yeah, and then go back to your miserable dog life.
I mean, you know, you get to run around, dig a hole, you know, sniff a bit. Just don't cut my balls off. That's all. I want to keep my balls. I want to enjoy it. I want to fuck other dog bitches. You know,
They're just called bitches.
that's right. They
Tramps.
are just called bitches. I'm a tramp. She's a bitch. Let's do this. Let's make little mutt puppies. You know.
Okay. All right.
Had a fling down the street. Anyway,
this chihuahua was giving me the awkward eye.
yeah. So speaking of chihuahuas giving the awkward eye, these game consoles. What's going on? Now, we talked about this last episode a little bit.
We did a Reader's Digest version. These consoles are coming out like with like a lot of issues, like a lot of them.
And the thing is right now the resale market on them is crazy.
Ridiculous.
Every time a retailer gets them, they sell out in minutes.
Seconds, even.
Seconds, yeah. They sell out in seconds. And I said on the last episode, I'm gonna wait about a year before I think
that's
one.
all right. I'm mildly fiending for the culture.
I'll wait.
I'm gonna try.
The reason why is because one, they're extremely hard to get right now. They're super
they're
expensive
expensive and they're peak value right now.
I mean, I have a buddy that somehow managed to get 2 of them, kept one for himself, sold the other, was able to sell it for about $1,300. The thing retailed for what, $400 or $500? Yeah. Like, fuck, man. So
for real,
so he more than paid for the one that he kept. I'm not gonna fight some woman named Karen in a fucking Target.
Why it's gotta be Karen?
Because she tried to snatch the thing out of my cart on Black Friday. Like, I'm not.
Don't call it Black Friday.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's just called Friday.
Oh, okay. Okay, Friday. Okay.
I still get a little weird when because of all of everything that's been going on this year. Whenever like Target says that's our Black Friday sale, I go, no.
You can call it Black Friday. It's okay.
Yeah, well, because it doesn't.
Don't call it Spear Chucker Friday. That's a little offensive, Zach. I don't know why you would call it that.
Could you imagine somebody's just standing out there and just be like, you know what? You know what they call Black Friday, right?
Yo, have you seen that meme on Facebook?
No. I haven't.
Here's the thing: you're not friends with like enough like middle-aged black people on Facebook to like get these memes.
Should be though,
because you get some great conspiracy theories like this way. Okay. So the reason why they called it Black Friday was because this is the one I read. I read this like a couple years ago. Anyway, the reason why they call it Black Friday is because it was always considered a holiday the Friday after Thanksgiving, to pick a misbehaved slave and lynch them on that day. And the holiday became known as Black Friday. And somehow, through years and years of just the world, like, I guess all the shopkeepers would put all their stuff on sale on Black Friday, and suddenly it became a retail holiday.
Wow.
Yeah.
That one is digging deep.
I'm dead serious. Like, you can find, just search Black Friday.
I will.
Meme.
I know.
I gotta find it.
I'll see if I can find it, but from what I was told, it's just because of a price margin thing.
Yeah, that's literally, it's called Black Friday because retailers, because this is the first day of the Christmas season, all the retailers go into the black, meaning like they've all hit and exceeded their sales goals for the year that day.
I'm just looking at Black Friday meme, and it's all just people just like.
It's a very crunchy looking meme.
I can't. Yeah.
Black Friday lynching.
No, that one. That's probably what I should.
Yeah, you gotta look at that lynching.
Yeah. Is it did you know Black Friday stemmed from slavery? It was the day after Thanksgiving when slave traders would sell slaves for a discount.
That's what it was.
To assist plantation owners with more helpers for the upcoming winter, for cutting and stacking firewood, winterproofing. Hence the name Black Friday.
Yes, that's what it was.
Yikes! and I'm sure, given our society, who never takes anything at face value. Probably started posting this all over.
Oh, I've seen it posted so many times. Now, here's the thing. Though,
now it's just like we can't just Walmart and Target. We can't just let them do this.
But here's the thing about that: you gotta remember. Listen, slavery was fucking terrible. Okay, it was fucking awful.
It's a really good,
but
hard statement you had there.
But that's not where
hey, slavery. pretty bad.
It was terrible. It was fucking awful.
Not great.
A lot of bad shit happened in slavery.
Yeah, sure did.
That was not one of them.
Black Friday was not.
Black Friday does not get its roots from slavery.
However, Yana,
But
I'd like to see people have this argument, and then what I'd do is if somebody has a preposterously stupid thing to say, I let them say it, and I nod in approval, so they think they are. I know I do this with anybody that I feel like argument is not has no research and has very little intellect behind the conversation. I nod in approval because it usually makes them dig deeper and deeper, and then I say nothing afterwards, and then they're just like, I made a really good point there.
Okay.
And then you know what happens is it becomes this kind of trickle effect where they get one person that's confident in that theory, and then they start telling other people, and then they tell other people. And then by the end of the day, there's 6 people saying the same story, and I'm just like, holy shit, my approval made this spread like wildfire.
Wow.
That's amazing.
You just described the business model of Cambridge Analytica.
I'm telling you, man. It was so easy. Yeah. That's how Facebook was created. You just nod in approval. You're just like, I'm going to steal this fucking idea.
Yeah, I'm going to steal this idea. Let's do it.
Thanks, Winklevoss.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thank you.
1 and 2.
Yeah.
It's like
thank you.
thing 1 and thing 2, except blonde and big. And
big blonde rowing men.
Big blonde rowing men. I watched a thing on Instagram. I think it was Dave Portnoy. Had the Winklevosses come in and try to explain Bitcoin to him. Wow. I mean, I thought I understood stuff and things. Dude, they ran circles around my brain.
It gets complicated. Bitcoin can get very complicated.
Somebody told me the other day that like monopoly money has actually is like a more valuable currency than some sorts of Bitcoin. Maybe it's like a monopoly like a super collector's edition.
I could see that.
Has so much value.
I could see that.
It actually has more value than some Bitcoin currency.
Certain cryptocurrency. Yeah.
Not necessarily
Bitcoin, but certain crypto. Because
we can't do this right now because
I'm saying is as of right now, we're recording this podcast because I actually have some Bitcoin.
Of course you fucking have.
Of course I have Bitcoin. Why not? I don't have a lot.
Don't.
Just enough to say I have some.
Just enough to talk about Bitcoin.
Okay, so right now, 1 Bitcoin is worth 19,000 US dollars. As of right now.
Okay, and how many do you have?
Shit, I have just enough. I have $20 worth of Bitcoin. So that means I have...
What if you sold it right now?
I would make 32 cents. And it actually lost some value. So today's return was 63 cents, which means it dipped.
So what? So you have
just
20.
enough to say I got some, because I just want to see what it does. I use Robinhood. I have some stocks. The only thing about Bitcoin is that it's so volatile. I haven't put a lot into it, just because I just honestly keep enough in there just to be able to say, okay, I can say I have some Bitcoin. But I also have another cryptocurrency, which I think is funny. This is a Dogecoin.
I've heard of Dogecoin, yeah.
Yeah. And Dogecoin is worth...
don't know anything about it, but I've heard of it.
It's another crypto. It's worth way less than Bitcoin. I actually have... I made a couple dollars on this. Anyway, okay, I have 26... I put $20 in Bitcoin, $20 in Dogecoin. Right now I have $26 in Dogecoin. Because it's increased in value in the last... Shit, I bought it November 20th.
So 4 days ago?
So right now I have 6,585 Dogecoins.
When you're taking...
That's worth $26.
When you're taking a shit, is this what you do? I feel like this is what you do.
Yeah.
You just poop and play stocks?
Yeah, pretty much. So right now, Dogecoin, 1 Dogecoin is worth 0.00399 cents.
Wow. That's a lot of zeros.
Yes, it is worth...
A lot of zeros on the other side of the decimal point.
Dogecoin is worth nothing. Nothing.
Literally worth nothing.
But the thing behind cryptocurrencies is because it's a decentralized currency, that's why it's attractive. Because there's no bank behind it. It all uses the blockchain, where basically the blockchain is a...
I know where this is going. Just
I'm trying to keep it simple.
I know, but
I'm trying to keep it simple.
And I try to read it, and every time
Okay.
I'm just like I just
Okay, you know
my
the
brain
general.
does not want to accept this.
Okay, you know what a general ledger is, right?
Yes.
As far as accounting goes.
Yes,
okay.
I do know what a general ledger is.
Okay. Blockchain is a technology that supports cryptocurrencies,
Okay.
where basically you've
it's like
created a currency.
So it's like the banking system, quote
It's
unquote, kind of.
blockchain is essentially the general ledger itself.
Okay.
So it's a record of transactions, and that's what
a statement.
supports.
Kinda.
It's really just a record of transactions, and that's what supports the value of Bitcoin. So you used, I don't know, early days of Bitcoin, you used 2 Bitcoin to buy a pizza.
Okay.
Domino's got the Bitcoin, you got the pizza.
I need to drink because of this.
Yeah. But it's crazy now because 1 Bitcoin is worth about $19,000. So therefore, you spent damn near $40,000 on a pizza at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even though it wasn't that much money back at the time. So,
Better have been a good pizza.
yeah. So, what's funny though is I've been like invited to some Bitcoin groups on Facebook recently.
Every fucking day.
You get invited to
I have
Bitcoin
another.
groups.
I have another friend. Now, I define it kind of based off of the person who I remember. Now, it's never somebody that's close to me. Mm-hmm. It's always a guy who. It's whatever the Facebook version of sliding your DMs is. I guess
Okay.
Messenger.
Yeah.
Hey man, how you been? It's just like literally go fuck yourself. I barely remember who you are.
Okay.
And they're just like, hey, so I'm doing this. So they try to mask it when it's very obvious what they're going to ask me. And like, I only let one person tell me the spiel because I was just like, you know what, man, I'll give you 5 minutes. Tell me what's up. And then they just went on this humongous rant. I'm like, I'm out.
Okay.
In the mighty words of Mark Cuban, I'm out. Like,
I'm out. Hey. I'm out. It's I see the appeal though of these groups. The problem is that Bitcoin is when you're trying to build a group around a bunch of people saying, "Hey, let's build who wants to make their money work for themselves? Who wants to make residual income, passive streams of income?"
Oh God, just
Bitcoin
all of
is
those
not
niche-y terms.
Bitcoin is not a passive stream of income.
No, it's not like fucking It Works and all that shit.
WeWork or whatever. That's not. That shit's
WeWork,
bad. No, buying Bitcoin is not the same as investing in a fucking index fund.
In a pyramid scheme.
Yeah, Bitcoin. Because the problem is Bitcoin is so fucking volatile. One day you might be up 30%. Tomorrow you're down 60%. It's that fucking volatile. And the problem is that only a few people own so much Bitcoin. They're called whales that they can literally move the market. So if one whale decided that he wanted to take just a piece of all the Bitcoin he owns and just sell it, the value plummets just because this one guy owns so much of it.
Because he's basically he has the power. He's the almighty.
Yeah, this guy might have 100,000 Bitcoin, which is worth a fuckload of money right now. And he'll just decide, okay, I'm going to sell 30,000 Bitcoin. The value plummets, and then I'm going to rebuy it lower. Watch the value go back up, and now my Bitcoin is actually worth more than it was a few minutes ago.
I'll openly say this: like, I am not a stock guy. I'm not really I'm not a businessman guy.
Yeah.
Like I know what the ins and outs of the stock market is. That's something I talk about this with my therapist. There's certain things I want to get better at.
Okay.
So I have to. This is something we talk about in therapy.
Oh, okay.
Just write down like the things that you want to get better at. So it's funny though, because like I have these conversations and I always go, I want to get better with money.
Okay.
It's not that I'm bad with it. It's just that I think I can make it worth more.
Okay.
By doing very little.
Okay.
That's kind of what I want to get, because I have people come at me all the time. Like financial advisors, a lot of my friends are financial advisors.
A lot of them are.
Always want to try to sell me into something.
Yeah, I'm not going to sell you anything, bro.
I just want to be told strategically what's going to make me a couple more bucks tomorrow. Like I'm not trying to fucking I'm not trying to day trade. I'm not trying to pound phones and be the next, Gordon
Gekko. You're not trying to be
just,
Jordan Belfort out here. You just want to put your money somewhere.
I think I have the standalone point of view of Gordon Gekko. Money never sleeps. I get that.
But you just want to be able to just put your money somewhere. You don't have to worry about it. But you look at it in a couple months and it's worth more.
That's kind of how I feel about, obviously with your 401k, which is the stock market, and it fluctuates kind of based off of, it's mostly bonds and things like that. Right? Sure. I don't know. I barely know anything. All I know is that when certain things trade at a higher amount, you make more money. Yeah. That's it.
Well, one thing you have to remember from the god Dave Portnoy himself, Davey Day Trader, rule number 1, stocks, they always go up.
Dave gets 2 references in this podcast. That's it.
He really does. So that's it. So now we're done with that. The point is that, boys,
ring the bell.
So the point is, boys, if you want to do that, here's what you do, okay? You look at, if you want to create a Robinhood account or whatever, buy the ETFs of mutual funds. So look for Vanguard. There's one that's for the S&P 500. You look for those and you buy those, and they move with the market, which obviously, according to Dave Portnoy, which I'm circling back, there's not a new reference, stocks always go back up. In general, the stock market is always growing. In general,
based off of the Donald Trump press conference today, it's the highest it's ever been.
Sure, because it's always growing. 2 years from now, you'll be able to say it's the highest it's ever been. The stock market is always growing. Yeah, companies day to day
take hits.
They go up, they go down, and all that. However, in general, hitting the mic stand. In general, they're always going up.
Just punch the boys.
Yeah, so if you put some money somewhere safe,
like my mattress.
Yeah, somewhere like some sort of index fund or whatever.
My mattress.
Over time it's going to grow.
Okay.
Now, if you want to be the day trade boy and you start playing games out here, yeah, you lose some money. Because you'll put your money in some penny stock or whatever, and yeah, you'll get 40% growth in a day, but then tomorrow you'll lose all that and then some. Yeah. So it's calculated risk.
Everything is calculated risk.
Calculated risk. Again, you can gamble.
Yeah, but it is essentially, you're a professional gambler if you're doing day trading. Really.
Oh, absolutely. That is gambling.
It is.
Lower stakes gambling. Still gambling.
You have friends that are in finances, like in New York, right? Like Wall Street. Do you have any friends on Wall Street?
Yeah, a couple.
I got a couple too. Yeah. I got one friend who is a legit day trader, and it is. Whew.
Oh yeah, and you ask him about some of the trades he's made.
He's just turned 31. The guy looks damn near 50. It's
stressful.
You can see the life being sucked in. Drives a nice car, got a nice house. Is it worth it?
Yeah, and he is.
Is it worth?
He's either really skinny or really fat, isn't he?
Tall and really skinny.
Yep. Because he's just stressed the fuck out. Has an ulcer.
Yeah, he's bumping blow in the bathroom to keep himself up because he just gets fucking smile and dial.
Just as soon as 9:30 hits, he's on.
As soon as the bell rings, he's just like, "Hey, what's the airline in
Blue Star?
Blue Star Airlines?
Yeah.
What is it? Blue Star Airlines. What does Charlie Sheen say? Blue Star Airlines is up. What is it?
I can't remember what he said.
Blue Star Airlines. I just want to see the airline's quote. There it is. Listen, it's Blue Horseshoe.
I thought it was Blue Star.
No, I think the quote is, listen, Blue Horseshoe loves Blue Star Airlines.
Yeah. So but yes, day trading, you can lose a lot of money doing that, especially when you have these penny stocks. Yeah. Where, you got a stock that's trading at 30 cents a share. They get some good news suddenly, and you've got, 1,000 shares at 30 cents a share. So let's just say, I don't know. Well, let's say you got 10,000 shares at 30 cents a share. Yeah. Right? Mm-hmm. So times 0.3, you got $3,000 in there. You have 10,000 shares. Suddenly, 30 cents a share, it bumps up to $1 a share. you know.
You're losing me. I get it. I never.
But if it goes up, you just made a lot of money.
Yeah.
You know, suddenly your $3,000 is now worth, I don't know, $10,000.
Yeah. I get
Whatever.
it. So, I mean, I enjoy gambling. I like sports gambling, and I like doing the whole like daily fantasy stuff.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's no risk in that. But I guess there is.
There is.
But I'm also not risking hundreds of dollars. I'm risking tens of dollars.
Right.
So it's like.
So.
I guess I think the monster is bigger. Mm-hmm. It's a bigger monster in a cave than I think it is. Like maybe it's a.
I think it's a smaller monster than you think it is.
You hear the roar and then it walks out and it's like the size of an ant. It's like all right.
Well, honestly, make a Robinhood account.
I plan on it.
Just make one. Just make a Robinhood account.
I already have my New Year's resolutions.
Okay.
And one of them is to become stock fluent. That was what I wrote down. Be stock fluent.
Make a Robinhood account. Just start out. Don't put a ton of money in there. Put like $200 in there.
That's what. Yeah, I would say $100.
$100, $200, whatever it is. I mean, just put a little bit of money in there, right? And then just buy a couple of stocks and just pay attention to them. See what they do. And you'll start noticing trends. Company gets some good news, price goes up. Company gets some bad news, price goes down. But overall, most of these companies, they're going up or they're going out of business. So that's pretty much
in the age of COVID. Like, do you? I feel like more and more companies are going out of business. So like, strategically, what makes the most sense?
As of
find the
right
successful
now,
ones and just kind of work off of those.
Pretty much. As of right now, a good bet, and this is if you're doing short term, you're going to keep it for a couple of days and then sell it. As of right now, I would go certain electric car companies are doing pretty well. Some of the Chinese ones. I actually bought some NIO recently, and it's doing pretty good.
A friend of mine actually brought up NIO the other day, and I go, I didn't know what it was. And do you have the friend that like belittles you for not knowing stocks?
No. But anyway,
maybe he's not really a good friend.
Yeah, probably not.
He's just like, I just mentioned that. I was like, what's NIO? And he's just like, you know what NIO is? And I'm just like, oh fuck,
the Chinese electric car company. So
yeah,
anyway.
well, that's what he said, and I was like, so it's like Tesla. It's like it's not like Tesla. Like, it's
so different.
It's so different.
The same thing. So anyway,
no, one's Chinese and one's not.
Yeah. So but yeah, their stock has been doing pretty good recently.
Okay.
You know, anything tech related. Like, okay, here's actually a good idea. Here's something I did.
Whoa. This is insider trading.
This is not insider trading. Okay. For example, right? Just before the election, I knew that there were some marijuana. There's some marijuana propositions
on the bill. Yeah, on the
in like
bill.
New Jersey and a couple other states, and they're likely to pass.
Can't believe it passed in New Jersey.
You knew it was coming.
I know, but I just felt like it was ironic that New Jersey has been the garden state forever, and they weren't legalizing weed.
Yeah. So, but between that, and then we also knew that more likely than not, Joe Biden was gonna win.
Oh, really?
We knew that.
Stop the count.
Yeah, stop the count. We knew more likely than not. Okay, the Biden administration is going to be more friendly to the weeds.
The Biden crime family, yeah.
The Biden crime family than the Trumps. Mm-hmm. So I bought a couple of weed stocks.
Which ones?
What did I buy? I think I bought Tilray and what is it? Organigram?
Organigram, yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I bought those two.
That is one I heard of, yeah.
Yep. I bought into those two companies. And then sold it, made a couple bucks after, like a couple days after the election.
Just like a drug dealer.
Damn right. So yeah, if things like that, or just ahead of the announcement of the newest iPhone, I bought some Apple stock,
which is pretty expensive.
Yeah. I actually held it. Actually, I bought and sold Apple stock a couple of times. Mm-hmm. So. Back in the summer, they had a 4-way stock split, and I knew that what was going to happen was once they announced the stock split, I knew that a lot of people were going to jump into Apple and the price would go up. So a stock split, the way that works is, oftentimes what happens is the value of one share will get to be so much. Oftentimes when a company wants more people to buy their stock or whatever,
they'll divide They'll split the price by 4.
Yeah, they'll split. So let's say you have one share of your company's worth $1,000. You split it 2 ways. Now one share is worth $500, but you double the total number of shares you have.
Gotcha.
A company like Apple, a lot of people are going to want to buy in.
Yeah, okay.
So what you do is before the split, you buy Apple. A couple weeks before the split, you buy Apple. The price gets boosted. It splits. So now, I think it was a 4-way split with Apple. So now one of your shares is worth 4. However, each of those shares goes up because more people are buying in because of the split. Because now the price per share is cheaper.
I feel like we're doing economics.
Yeah,
right now.
so I did that. Tesla split at the same time. So I did Apple and Tesla.
That's something I read in the trades.
Yep. So that happened. I also bought Apple ahead of the new iPhone launching.
Makes sense. Okay.
I knew it was coming, so I was like, all right.
So it seems I guess in layman's terms, like you look for like if it's a company that involves like electronics, like if new products are launching,
buy.
Buy before the product launch.
Buy before the product launch. Once the product launches, you'll watch it go up in value.
And then once it kind of levels off, then you
sell.
Kick it to the curb.
Yeah. Sell.
We are financial advisors.
Exactly. But I'm not. Okay, boys, keep in mind, I'm no expert here. This is just what I do.
We need to put a disclaimer.
But also, buying and selling stocks.
We are not licensed financial advisors.
Right.
So.
But even then, buying and selling stocks, you're going to lose money. You're going to make money. You kind of just got to ride the waves and figure out what works for you.
Yeah.
And also, you'll probably go through that phase where you're buying penny stocks like crazy. One day you're going to lose way more money than you're comfortable losing on this app.
You're going to be like, fuck.
And then you're going to decide, you know what? Let me get out of the penny stocks. Let me just go to regular shit where things aren't as risky.
That's the thing though, is if I routinely paid attention to my 401k, I remember at the peak of the pandemic, my 401k
don't even look at it. Don't even look at it.
And I was like, oh my God. I was like, I'm never going to retire. And then I looked at it now and it's totally recovered. And I'm like, oh, I get it.
Yeah.
The stocks
it did some weird during the lockdown, back in March, April. The market was doing some weird shit.
Especially if you're older and established, I feel like that would have been a death sentence.
Well, typically what they do, and this is for that reason, they tell you is your invested assets should be mostly in stocks when you're young, and then as you get older, transition from stocks to bonds. Yeah. So as you get older, you're supposed to have less stocks and more bonds. Until eventually you get to the point you're ready to retire, it should be pretty much all bonds.
Essentially, bonded income is it's kind of it's basically a fixed income kind of, or it's
guaranteed.
Guaranteed money. Yeah.
Yeah. So the way a bond works is essentially,
I feel like we're talking.
You buy a bond
to
for
every 18-year-old boy right now who's just I just want to know more about finance.
Yeah, so let's say the way a bond works is, I buy a bond today, it's worth $2. I spend $2 on the bond.
Economics 101.
When the bond matures, it's going to be worth $10. So I spend $2 now, I get the bond. 5 years from now, I cash in the bond, I get $10 for it. That's pretty much that's basically how bond works.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So
we are
very low risk.
Yeah, we're economics professors. That's good.
The reward is pretty good, but it's not like catching some hot stock where you remember hearing about Kodak.
Yeah.
Yeah, suddenly the price a few months back where suddenly the price just
skyrocketed.
Went up 3,000% in one day because there was a rumor that they were going to be manufacturing the fucking coronavirus cure.
Yeah.
Which was merely a rumor or whatever it was, or they were getting some sort of government contract to manufacture generic drugs.
Well, that didn't happen.
And it didn't happen. It was totally speculation. God. But Eastman Kodak, who is a distant memory at this point in our lives.
Yes. Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah. Or even the fuckery that was going on with Hertz's stock.
I just remember reading about this stuff, not knowing enough about it to be like, whoa, let me make an educated guess about this.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh, people were, and that's the thing is if you go on. I know. Also, a great thing to get into is read, there are some penny stock subreddits.
No, really?
Yeah. And it's literally a coordinated effort to pump and dump. It's fucking great. What are we pumping today, boys? To the moon.
Pump and dump.
It is. Which you know what a pump and dump scheme is.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, you saw Wolf of Wall Street.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. The old pump and dump.
So it's a coordinated pump and dump. I love it.
There's so much fuckery. Mm-hmm. This life is a fuck. This life is fuckery. Mm-hmm. Listen.
So yes, but boys,
reality isn't real.
So yes, boys, buy a little Bitcoin just to pay attention to what it's doing. Don't bet the farm on it. It's a currency. It's not a stock.
You know what we should do is we should really press people to buy the farm on it and see how many angry emails we get.
We should make our own. We should make our own currency, like our own crypto.
What do we call it?
Boys coin.
Boyzgiving's got a nice ring to it.
Boys coin.
Have you bought? I just bought 400 shares of Boyzgiving. What's Boyzgiving? What's Boyzgiving? No, it's just
I got 400 Boys coin. It's worth 0.00003 cents. Like just buy Boys coin.
0.000000069%.
Exactly. That's all you need.
Fantastic.
Just
I learned so much tonight, and I will retain none of this. So
Okay.
thank you for your time.
Yeah, no problem.
And for the boys listening, we are welcoming new clients. So
Yeah.
that's good.
Oh no, to Boys Financial.
Yeah. Welcome to Boys Financial. Mm-hmm. Liberty Boys. Where we're here to make sure that you understand.
Boys Mutual.
Yeah, Boys Mutual.
Mutual Boys.
Welcome to Mutual Boys. We're here to make you understand the understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that.
Cool. All right. Well, this has been fun, boys. It's getting a little weird out there. COVID's trying to rear its ugly head again, and bitch is ugly.
Bitch funny looking.
Yeah, she got 3 heads. She got a bunch of legs, like spores, like pouring out of it. Mm-hmm. Kind of looks like fungus. It's gross. You ever see a mushroom like in the forest, and you're like, you should eat that, but it's definitely not going to have hallucinogenic effects. Like, don't eat that mushroom.
Don't eat that mushroom.
Boys, there's 2 things we got to figure out right now. All right, we got to figure out how to keep Grandma safe, and we got to figure out how to keep you fed. So this is what we're going to do. This year, Grandma's going to stay home. You're going to eat turkey. You're going to talk to Grandma on a camera. Just this year. That's it.
That's it.
Just keep Grandma safe.
That's it.
Look at her.
Yep.
She's still going to be there. She's just going to be in a cube, or she's going to be in a square of some sort.
Yep.
You're going to have to teach her how to turn on the camera because she's not going to know how to do it.
Exactly.
You know, she's 80. So you
Yep.
just be like, Grandma, listen, you got to hit the button in the corner. And she'll be like, I don't know what that is. I'm like, it's a button right in the middle. It says camera.
Uh-huh.
And then she'll be like, and she'll find it, but then like the camera will be upside down. You just walk her through it.
Just help her out.
Just help her out. Like,
Help
she
your
needs
grandma
help.
out, boys.
And you know what? Just enjoy what you have, because if this shit happened 20 years ago, you wouldn't be able to talk to Grandma unless you were just talking to her over,
over the landline.
Over
But
the
you
old
wouldn't see
landline.
her.
You wouldn't see her.
It's not the same.
You wouldn't know what's going on.
Exactly.
So count your blessings. Mm-hmm. Count your lucky stars.
Count your blessings, boys.
Yeah. Blessings on blessings on blessings.
Blessings. Blessed.
Yeah. Big Sean. Comedy comes back around.
Yeah. Mentioned before. Okay.
We will try to enjoy our Boyzgiving this year.
Yep.
Make sure you are thankful for what you have, your life, liberty, and justice.
Yes, yes.
And soon we will be... I mean, we did launch some more merch. So we got the long sleeve shirts in the store now.
Yep.
Sweatshirt season. It's going to be pretty good. So
Yeah.
we are looking forward to the next year. 2020 has been interesting. And hopefully we will, be better prepared for 2021.
I hope so. I think we will. Okay, boys.
Now with all this stock knowledge, I feel like I know everything now.
You don't know it all. Honestly, there's so much more to learn.
To the moon!
I don't know it all. To the moon. Which way we pumping today, boys?
Pump it up, baby.
Yeah, it's honestly like Robinhood penny stocks on Reddit is fucking hilarious.
I'll probably check it out.
And you'll see so many memes of like people that got stuck holding the bag on certain penny stocks. Because what happens with these penny stocks is like they start pumping, and everybody always says like, fucking IDEX, it's gonna hit $4 a share. It's gonna hit $4 a share. I got it. It was at 20 cents a share. It's gonna hit $4 a share, bro. It's gonna hit. It's gonna hit. And then it gets to $3.98, and a whole bunch of people panic sell, and because of that, the shares start falling.
But
what happens is you always have the guys that weren't paying attention, or they're like, nope, don't do it. Buy the dip. But it never quite rebounds
never hits its
from
apex.
that dip.
Here, I have this, and maybe this is why I feel like I will have, I will find tremendous comfort in doing this, because when I watch game shows, I get such pleasure out of somebody losing. I don't know why. It's probably because it's just like this inner. It's not because I don't think that they deserve it, or it's not that I think they don't deserve it. It's just that, like, when somebody in particular is like not that intelligent and they win, and it's just like, fuck that guy. Like he like, what did he do? Like he just by chance guessed the right number on The Price is Right. Like there's nothing more satisfying than hearing that losing Price is Right sound. Like bum 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 bum. Like whenever you hear that, I'm just like, fuck that guy.
Right.
Yeah. Especially because if it's something that's like general knowledge stuff, and like they don't know it, you're like, oh my God, like if I was on the show right now, I would know the answer, and this stupid fucker doesn't know the answer to this. Like, I'd only find myself screaming at the TV when it comes to very mundane, stupid stuff like that.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. Price is Right, Wheel of Fortune puzzles. Holy shit. Do I get upset? Like,
I am terrible at those. I can never figure them out.
when I get one, and I'm like 1 for 6 on every episode, when I get it, I'm confident, and when that person doesn't know it, I yell at them like they're the dumbest person on earth. I'm just like, you stupid fuck! Like I get 13% of these puzzles right, and you're dumb because you can't figure out this one.
I am pretty good at Jeopardy. Rest in peace to the god Alex Trebek.
I was gonna say I actually crushed. Like, it was funny the other night we were because he did 20 episodes before he died.
Yeah.
And I think we're on the back half of those pre-recorded episodes. And the other night I was watching it, and I crushed like ancient mythology, and I was like, how the fuck do I know this?
Yeah.
Like, I took one.
Look at the brain on Brad.
Yeah, I did. Hey Brad, look at you.
Yeah.
Over missed, huh?
I heard though that they're having Ken Jennings
come
back as a
rumor is
host.
I think that is the rumors that Ken Jennings might be like the new guy.
Oh, he's gonna be I heard that he was gonna be like the temporary guy until they found.
I feel like that just makes it makes perfect sense. Or are you gonna make IBM Watson the host?
It could.
Like, hello, I am Watson. Here's the answer to this question.
That is the Daily Double.
See,
that sound means we're out of time.
Who's gonna be snarky like Alex Trebek though? Like, like IBM Watson can't be snarky. He'll be like, well, that was wrong. Too bad you weren't thinking about your mother.
I feel like Ken has a snark to him.
A little bit, because he's a smart guy. Smart guys always have a little, like, idiot. Like,
yeah, they got a little
sass
to them.
Little sass. Yeah.
Little pep.
It's just like, this guy didn't know anything about fucking Louis the 13th. What an asshole. Like,
he thought it was the third derivative.
Pythagorean theorem. What an asshole.
Yeah.
I feel like that makes sense, because he's essentially the smartest man on earth based on Jeopardy standards.
Well, there's that other dude who did really, really well. Did he? And he beat Ken's
Jeopardy
record.
James?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, the Las Vegas gambler who doesn't have emotions.
Yeah, that guy.
Every time I watch that guy, I was like, if he's got a wife, she's not alive.
Well, even then, his way was, because Ken won in the traditional sense, the way the game is supposed to be played, whereas the other dude basically studied the game and said, okay, this is how you win.
Well, yeah, because he's a gambler by trade. Like, that's what he does for a living.
So he didn't play
just
the
like
game.
True Daily Double. It's like, you have $40,000. He's like, I got this.
Yeah,
like,
but he like studied like every board over the last 30 years and figured out, okay, that's where the daily doubles are.
Yeah,
35% of the time.
It. Yeah, like he. Yeah. And
you know.
based on the way he talked, he was a little Aspergery. I mean, there was something going on there.
Yeah, they usually prefer it if you go for, what is it, Jeopardy etiquette? They prefer it if you go from the top of the board and go down.
And he would, he
would start at the bottom and go up or whatever.
It seems like the smart contestants would always start at like 800. So they go from like the bottom third. I don't know why. It's probably a algorithm thing. Like that's probably what they're thinking. Like most of the daily doubles fall in the 800, so they go bottom third, work their way up, and then finish at 1,000. And then obviously the double Jeopardy round, you just switch your stance.
Yeah, but this guy in particular figured out the best way to play the board to win,
which is pretty much the point of the game.
Yeah, it was that, and then there was also a certain way he would hold the clicker that made him able to click it like faster than everybody else.
Yeah,
just enough to get that edge.
Such a gambler.
Yeah.
Like,
listen, you just got to throw up shots, bro. Eventually you hit a rhythm.
Listen, it took me a while to learn how to count cards, but once I got the hang of it, I was pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. All right, boys. Be safe this Boyzgiving. Make sure you
wear a condom.
You know what?
Don't.
You know, it's 2020, man. Let's take chances.
Yeah.
That's the one chance you take.
Yes.
And if you shoot her club up once, I mean, just take care of the kid, man. I mean, it's on you at that point. I mean, you knew what you were going to do.
Yep.
So, and then teach grandma how to use Zoom. I mean, we're so late in the year now. She doesn't understand it. But she might just be a lost cause. But
yeah,
you know, make sure you get the landline number.
Of course.
So, we'll talk to you next week. We love you. Bye.
I love you. Please call me back.